Hello there. I'm the senior investigator of the ICAC, iSir. Hong Kong is known as a clean society. To uphold our probity culture, let's make it a point to start with our daily lives. You may not know, some terms we come across are related to our fight against corruption. I'm going to share a few of these terms with you now. Firstly, introduction fee. Some money is paid for an introduction of something or someone, but many times a person is not allowed to accept this fee, so think before offering.
Ollie, how are things going with you?
Very well.
Good to hear. Keep working hard. You're new, so look. You must maintain relationships to keep your job.
Thank you, boss. I know you look out for me. Could you help my relative? He needs work too.
Of course, if he pays the introduction fee.
A fee?
That's how it is. He has to pay me an introduction fee to get him a job. Same for you. Be smart and you'll keep your job.
Be smart meaning?
Each of your colleagues gives me $500 every month. So what about you?
I see. Let me think about it.
As you wish. But don't take too long or you'll lose your job.
The foreman here made use of his position and asked his workers for introduction fee or tea money. It breaches the Prevention of Bribery Ordinance. Trade practice is no defense. In such a situation, you should refuse to pay and report this to the ICAC. People who pay money to get a job or to keep a job also breach the anti-bribery law. Hello. Today I'd like to talk about sincerity. This means treating others wholeheartedly. One must be careful when expressing sincerity so as to keep compliant with the law.
Mr. Chow, my family's coming to Hong Kong next week to see me, so I'd like to swap my shift for next week to have Sunday off.
It isn't easy to swap shifts. Everyone here wants to take a day off. In that case, who'll work on Sunday?
Mr. Chow, I'm asking because I know Fanny has arranged the same. She's taking a Sunday off.
Well, that's different. Fanny's quite diligent and very sincere.
Mr. Chow, I've heard that Fanny has dozed off at work. Sometimes she's even vanished from the workplace.
Don't care about others, just mind your own business.
I heard from residents too. A few of them have made complaints to you.
Really? What I know is Fanny shows more sincerity.
Huh? You mean sincerity?
If you lack the sincerity, be prepared for hardship at work, such as working at the car park outdoor.
A private company employee accepts or solicits any advantage at work without their employer's approval is in breach of the Prevention of Bribery Ordinance. It is also illegal to offer an advantage. Mr. Chow, the supervisor, solicited an advantage from Kathy, the security guard, in exchange for preferential treatment. Fanny as well breached the law by offering an advantage to Mr. Chow to get a day off, justifying it as showing sincerity. An advantage is not defined in monetary term. Apart from money, any gift, employment, loan, service, and favor are advantages. Next, I'd like to talk about record. This means the keeping of information. It's important to keep genuine and accurate records at your job.
You must work faster. After Block A is done, you must do Block B.
But there should be somebody else to do that. I don't understand why we should.
Manpower's tight at the moment, so please, hurry up.
What manpower problem? Several workers signed the attendance record this morning, but they seem to have disappeared, and others are taking prolonged sick leave. They rarely show up.
Mind your own business and focus on your job. Now, don't forget, you have Block B to do too.
I think you've spoken too much. Let's finish our work. But our boss overstates the number of workers. He enters that number on the attendance records and orders us to sign inflated salary records. I'm really afraid that we'll get dragged into it. But he's our boss, so we can't do much. Don't talk too much, or you might lose your job. Back to work.
The supervisor intended to deceive his employer with false attendance and salary records, breaching the Prevention of Bribery Ordinance. All workers who signed falsified records will be suspected of the intent to deceive. If you are asked to deceive your employer with falsified records, you should refuse to do so and report this to the ICAC.
Cut. We're done.
With me is the director. We're at the ICAC regional office.
iSir, from time to time, you encourage the public to report corruption. How can one make a report to the ICAC?
People can make a report to the ICAC in person, by phone, or by mail.
Is the process complicated? And I'm also worried about my identity being revealed.
Don't worry, the process is quite simple and confidential. All members of the public are welcome to visit the ICAC regional offices for inquiries. Hello there, I'm the senior investigator of the ICAC, iSir. Hong Kong citizens applying for public services should bear one thing in mind. They should not offer advantages to public servants for preferential treatment. Let me share some terms. First is the phrase going upstairs. Literal meaning aside, which is to go up a building, it also means being allocated a public housing unit.
This is good. We got a public housing unit. Now we have more space.
But it's a worn-out flat. Add to that, it's really remote. Takes more than an hour to get to work. Just think of the cost.
But we can't change things. This is for us, so take it or leave it.
I'll ask for a better unit by writing to the housing department. That should help us.
You think that'll work?
It could. I'll just explain. I know. Perhaps we could give the officials some tea money. I think they would really like that. What do you think?
You're right. Who doesn't like a gift?
Never do that. If you offer a bribe to staff at the housing department in exchange for a better unit, it's a breach of the Prevention of Bribery Ordinance. Never offer an advantage to any public servant, even as a sign of gratitude. Giving the staff a simple word of thanks or a letter of appreciation is enough. Now let's talk about getting a license. This means obtaining a qualification through some sort of exam, like an estate or insurance agent. Even driving requires an exam.
Rearview mirror, indicator, gear shift. Good morning, sir.
ID card, please. What is this?
I'm sorry. ID card.
You may begin.
So then, sir, did I pass or fail this? Hey, sir.
What is it?
For you, a token of my gratitude.
What is that?
Please, sir, take this packet and let me pass.
It is bribery if the candidate offers a red packet to the driving examiner of the Transport Department to get a pass. It breaches the Prevention of Bribery Ordinance. The examiner is also in breach if he accepts it. Hello there. Today I would like to talk about getting a place. Often in Hong Kong, we need to get a place, either for dining or maybe parking or school admission for our children.
Why didn't you answer the headmistress in the interview? Didn't we practice all this at home? Oh, headmistress. How are you? Headmistress, I'd like to know whether my daughter Macy has a chance of being admitted here. You see, it's her wish to study at this school. Correct, Macy? Please don't worry, Mrs. Lau. We'll contact you as soon as we have the results. Of course, headmistress, but you know how difficult it is to secure a place in this district. If she isn't offered a seat here, she'll have to travel an hour to school in another district. Won't you please help us out? Mrs. Lau, we'll contact you once we have the results. Headmistress, I just bought this designer handbag. I think it suits you better. What do you think? Why don't you give it a try? What?
Parents are concerned about their children's school, but they shouldn't bribe school staff for that reason. Mrs. Lau offers the headmistress an advantage for a place at the school, thus breaching the law. Parents should set a good example for their children to be fair and law-abiding. People in Hong Kong often exchange gifts during festivals, but sometimes they can't be given out at will. Let me explain more on offering a gift.
Mr. Chow, hello there.
Hello, Mrs. Chung.
Mr. Chow, for the coming festival, I bought mooncakes. Here's a box for you.
Thanks a lot, but keep it for yourself.
I bought this especially for you. You've been teaching my son with such patience. Thanks to you, he's shown great improvement at school. Thank you very much.
There's no need to give me such a gift. It's all part of my job. Plus, the school's policy prohibits us from receiving gifts from parents.
No need to worry. I won't tell anybody.
Huh?
If Mrs. Chung offers a gift to Mr. Chow in exchange for preferential treatment for her son, it's bribery. Even if it is meant as an appreciation, parents must first check the school's policy, as some schools prohibit staff from accepting gifts from parents. By now, I believe all of you know how to uphold the culture of probity in daily life. Remember, one should not offer any advantage in exchange for preferential treatment, neither for public services nor for business with private companies, such as opening a bank account. If you come across corruption, report it to the ICAC. You are welcome to visit the ICAC regional offices for inquiries.